Now for this week's This Is Home, we feature a mobile audiology clinic that expands access to care for rural patients. Our Chase Campbell joins us now live in the studio with those details. Chase.
Thank you, Phyllis. Hearing loss affects people everywhere, but not everybody has the same access to care. Transportation is a major barrier for people in rural communities who may not be able to make the trip required to see a specialist. For this week's This Is Home, we meet a doctor who's bringing hearing care directly to the people and a patient whose life she helped change.
This Is Home, sponsored by A1 Heating and Cooling and TB Dentistry.
Happy Ears Audiology, founded by Dr. Gretchen Flinner and her husband Hayden, is a mobile audiology clinic operating throughout southeast Ohio and western West Virginia. Their van-based setup lets them travel to meet patients in their homes or easily accessible public spaces. Flinner's clinic offers a full spectrum of hearing services.
From initial hearing tests to if people have hearing aids and they need them cleaned or they need reprogramming on them. If somebody's new to the whole conversation and they just want to ask us what's going on. We also do earwax removal and custom hearing protection for people who aren't ready for hearing aids or don't have that hearing loss, but they work in loud noise environments and they want to maintain the hearing that they have.
Flinner says she was inspired to open a mobile clinic by seeing the need firsthand.
It actually comes from my own grandparents. I'm from Mason County area, so it's about an hour drive for certain specialized treatments and care.
The flexibility of a mobile clinic means expanding access to care.
As we look at hearing loss, some people don't want to drive into the city or they don't want to drive over an hour. And being able to bring our office to people has been really influential in people getting their care earlier.
John Shriver, a patient of Happy Ears, was born with severe hearing loss. Though he was able to see other audiologists before Dr. Flinner, he says his experiences weren't always positive.
Spent my whole life going to different audiologists and being tested, and some of them would tell you how you're being stubborn, you can hear noises, you just ain't listening.
Shriver says seeing Dr. Flinner was different.
I never could hear different sounds. But thanks to Gretchen, you know, for the first time this spring, I was able to hear the frogs and the birds. So she's helped me a lot.
For Shriver, Flinner wasn't just someone who helped him to hear. She's also someone who listened compassionately.
She does care. She doesn't try to force the hearing aids on you. She tries her best to help you.
Shriver says being able to hear better has been life-changing.
I'm able to hear noises. I'm able to hear my wife, even when she's in another room, and that wasn't possible before. It shocked me. It really did.
In Parkersburg, Chase Campbell, WTAP News. This is Home.
Flinner says Happy Ears currently operates in 4 rural health communities, and they hope to expand in the future. Thank you, Phyllis. Back to you.